welcome to Info Simcoe. My name is Madison Fitzpatrick, and joining us in studio right now is Deb from Barrie's Women and Children's Shelter. Hi, Deb. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for having us on today.
Yeah, we're glad to have you back in studio. I know you've been here before, but today we just want to talk about what you do at the shelter and what it's all about.
Okay. Well, I'm fairly new to the Women and Children's Shelter of Barrie. I have worked at a couple of different non-for-profits and different charities, but I've landed recently with the Barrie Shelter. So I'm the Community Development Manager. And you're probably saying, Madison, Deb, what does that mean? And it just means I help with fundraising, community relationships, developing relationships. I help them with different events that are coming up. We're going to get to that in a few minutes. Help them with grants and accessing different grants that might be available for us as well. So it's lots of different kind of levels to it, but it's never boring. That's for sure. I've only been there a few months, but it's a lot of fun. It's certainly inspiring. That's one of the reasons why I really wanted to take this job, was that it's truly a great place to work, and they're just doing amazing work. For sure. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the shelter for people that don't know.
Sure. The Barrie Shelter, the Women and Children's Shelter, believe it or not, has been there and operating for 41 years.
Wow.
Which is a little bit crazy to think about it. That kind of need has been around for such a long time. But yeah, it's been over 40 years. And we do talk all the time that it would be amazing if we could work ourselves out of a job, if we could, there'd be no need for a shelter and to help women in crisis and their children. But unfortunately, the need is there. And in fact, the need over the last couple of years during the pandemic has actually gone up. And we know this to be true now. People being, stuck in their houses and face to face with people and all the stuff that, I think about my own husband sometimes, and, you have it up to here sometimes. Yeah. So you multiply that with family, the family dynamic, and with violence and all the stressors that come with it. It went through the roof. So, so unfortunately we're a 27 room facility, and most of the times we're sitting about 30. So we're always full.
And what is the type of support that you guys provide? Well,
we provide emergency, shelter for women in crisis who are fleeing a relationship, something, they've been abused by their husband, abused by their intimate partner. They've been in a very, very rough spot. So we help with that emergency shelter. And then the programming, the outreach programming that goes with it. So we're helping. We like to walk them through every step of the process. So once you're in the shelter and you're safe and you've got your children with you, if you need help figuring out the legal system, which quite often is, whether, the person who's been abusive to you has gone to jail, or you're in that process. I know myself, I'm not even, who knows really how to maneuver through the legal system. So we help with that. We help with children's services. Some of these kids have been through just horrendous, just like the moms have been through horrendous situations. And, some kids have seen some stuff that should never see stuff and live through stuff. So they're dealing with a lot of trauma. They're looking, dealing with a lot of traumatic stress in a lot of instances. So there's a lot of children programming. We try to help with, we have a mental health addictions support worker. And unfortunately, that just goes hand in hand. A lot of the women that are landing in a shelter, there's a dotted line to poverty. There's a dotted line to mental health. There's a dotted line to, addictions. It's all right there. It's all, cooking together, if you will. Right. So we try to give that support and give a woman her confidence back, and give a woman her ability to stand on her own 2 feet and get back out there and take on life again. So, right. When somebody's coming in to the shelter, they might, you're just, it takes a little bit of time, and we do try to meet women on their own terms and try to, they'll deal with stuff as they get to it or how they deal with it. And it's entirely an individual case by case by case. So we just have to allow, that woman and her kids to get there. And in some instances, they might not get there. They'll be dealing with that kind of trauma for the rest of their lives, but we're trying to help them through that as best we can.
Right. Yeah. Well, Deb, with International Women's Day coming up on March 8th, I understand that you guys are having an event. Tell us a little bit about that.
We are, and we're so excited. It's the annual Women's Empowerment Luncheon, and it actually falls on International Women's Day, which is Wednesday, March the 8th. Don't forget that date. And we're just so incredibly excited because I think after a pandemic, we're able to come together. We're going to be social. We get to see our friends again. And it's just really, really exciting to be able to come together. So we're at Barrie Chrysler this year. They hosted us a few years ago before pandemic. So we are coming back together in person. They're going to host us. They're our key sponsor, our primary sponsor, which is fantastic. And the doors will open around 11. There's a vendor fair. So we've got lots of great local businesses that will be on hand. You can do a little bit of shopping, a little bit of networking,
And how, just quickly, how can people get tickets for the event?
You can get tickets. Eventbrite has the event listing, so you can check it out there. You can go to our website and click through on our website, so barrieshelter.com. It's got all the details there. Jayne Pritchard, who's had an amazing life. She is a great trailblazer, I think is the right word. She's just a tremendous trailblazer for women in media. And I think that she's going to be a perfect keynote speaker for us this year. So we're quite excited.
Well, Deb, thank you so much for being with us today. We're super excited for your event and wish you all the best.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please stay tuned for more Info Simcoe.